is not first.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just enjoy our faces. Let your face rest.
Look at the most entertaining people on the internet right now. Oh my god.
I'm getting real fucking tired.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Analytical Fanboys. This is technically the June episode, but we're recording and releasing it in July because Hatchet Co. is more important than this show. I am the Vacuuminator, one of your hosts, and I am joined by our topic selector of the month, Boingo Ryder.
It's time to rip and tear, motherfuckers.
Hey. Somebody who is constantly ripping and tearing a great many things is Snowcone83. How are you, sir?
Guts, huge guts.
You want to know who has huge guts, at least in terms of like his spirit and energy? I think that's Buster Corp. What's up, man?
Doom reference. I forgot. Doom, yeah. It's
Doom.
Doom. Anytime you say Doom, that's a Doom reference.
Yeah, it's when actually surprise reveal about the channel. Every time Boingo and I have chanted Doom on No Prize Podcast, that's been a reference to Doom the video game, not Doctor Doom the comic book character. All right, okay. Boingo, do you want to tell us why you picked Doom?
In no short terms, Doom is probably one of the most important video games to have ever been created. You do not realize how much the video game Doom has completely rewritten video games as we know them. PC gaming would not be where it's at without Doom. 3D rendering would not be where it's at without Doom. Doom just fundamentally changed the entirety of the game for video games. And in that regard, I thought it would be interesting to talk about.
Okay.
Should I go a little bit more into just Doom in a general sense, other than just my why I picked it?
Yeah, I mean, explain it for the uninitiated and give some of your thoughts upon playing it this time around.
Doom, 1993's Doom is honestly, to me, it's the first-person shooter, much in the same way Street Fighter 2 is the first fighting game. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily the one that did everything first, but it's the one that codified all the disparate elements to make it feel cohesive as a genre. You play the Doom guy as you are on the moon Phobos. As science happens, demons invade, go rip and tear. That's literally what the premise was. Eventually you go into hell, you fight demons all around there. You fight two bosses, the Cyber Demon and the Spider Mastermind, and you go on your merry adventure and you continue on into Doom 2, Doom 64, 2016 Doom, and then Doom Eternal. That is the canon storyline as it is right now. And Doom was created by id Software, where including people like Tom Hall, John Carmack, John Romero, Sandy Peterson, and several others that I don't remember their names right now. But Doom important, Doom good. This time around,
question.
Yes.
Is John Romero related to George Romero at all?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But is he about to make you his bitch?
We're not playing Daikatana.
I had to reference it, man. It's part of his legacy.
It is part of his legacy. That's a part of his legacy that I actually looks back on and goes I'm glad I did it and I learned. Because that's the thing. Basically, to put into context of how important Doom is and how well loved it was, in 1995, I believe it was 1994, 1995. Microsoft Windows was the second most used software in the world. The first was Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Doom was that big. Doom was so big that Microsoft was like, okay, we need to get this working on Windows so people look at Windows better. Guess who did that project?
Oh,
Gabe Newell. He went later on to found the company Valve and created the games Half-Life 1 and 2.
And sent Steam decks to people, on foot.
Yeah.
He is the Steam man.
John Carmack, the man who basically invented all of the technology used in this game, would go on to create the technology used in Quake, which redefined 3D rendering. That code is still being used to this day.
More specifically, the Quake engine and remnants of the Quake engine can be found in almost every single Call of Duty to the date.
Yeah.
Literally.
Every Call of Duty. Yeah.
That's why those fucking games are like 150 gigs, because they're just there's skeletons in that closet and it's nasty.
Yeah.
But
But
beautiful.
like, Doom affected so many different things. And the best part about it all is at around 1998, give or take a year or so, John Carmack, a firm believer in open source software, released the Doom source code. It's not proprietary, so anybody could make a version of the engine. And people have made full-on legit commercial games to this day using the Doom 1 engine.
Would you like to name some of them?
Head On, Sulaco. Like, if you're in the boomer shooter things, those names are like, okay, I know Head On. That's the horny orc girl game.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Vax into it.
I know Head On. That's the thing they say in Transformers: The Headmasters.
God damn it. But yeah, Doom is fun. I really enjoy Doom. I enjoy going through the CAC Awards every year, seeing and playing some of the most beloved Doom WADs. I like seeing interesting things people do with the engine to make new games. It's a game engine at this point in time, but Doom 1 is a fun game. Episode 1, very particularly, but I do enjoy episodes 2 and 3, even though there are some lesser maps. Hello, Sandy Peterson.
Randy Pitchford.
Randy wasn't on this. Randy was on Duke Nukem, though.
Wait, Randy
right.
Pitchford, the Gearbox guy?
Yeah, he got started with these games. Like, because here's the thing. Doom also influenced its competitors. So the Doom engine begot the Build engine, which created Blood, Duke Nukem, and Shadow Warrior. And it also led to the creation of the Unreal engine as a competitor to the Quake engine.
And now everything uses Unreal. Like, not everything, but a good chunk of games these days use Unreal.
So any game that uses Unreal can trace its lineage back to trying to compete with Doom. Doom was so important that first-person shooters for the first few years weren't called FPS games. They were called Doom clones.
So do we want to get out of kind of the history section now and get into some more general thoughts?
Sure. I've been talking for a while, so why don't you guys
kick us off then?
Yeah, we're very curious.
So, as the most casual gamer in the call, I thought Doom was really interesting to learn about.
Oh no.
To play, yeah, this ain't for me, fam. This was it wasn't bad. It was just like, oh, yep, this is an early first-person shooter. There's not a lot of story. It is literally just go shoot things, and shooting things works pretty well. And I mean, there's graphics, and yeah, this is a video game. I certify it as such.
The big thing about Doom, though, was like environment. Like there's environmental storytelling that you can kind of see of like you go from technical bases, and then you go into castles, and then you go into hell itself. You know.
Yeah. But I'm a baby. I wanna have a story told to me. I don't want to have to walk around and learn it.
There's the intermission paragraphs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh fuck! I gotta read now.
Well, and I will say the intermission paragraphs. The font is iconic. It's not as readable in the game.
Yeah.
It's like I can barely read what's happening in Doom. Honestly.
Yeah. It's also just the fact of like heavy metal and demonic shit really isn't my aesthetic, and this was a big part of what made that aesthetic into what we know it as today. And like it's neat to see that. It's interesting to learn about this stuff, but it's not very interesting for me to experience it, I would say. But like I don't want to just sit here being negative Ned all podcast. So hey, Laugh Man, Buster Corp, what did you think of Doom as a single?
All right. I've played Doom before, actually. I played the Switch version for this video, which I like because I can press the X button and learn where the hell I am. Because this is a personal thing. I get lost a lot in FPS games. I get lost a lot. Like, I hump walls in those games. It is really bad. It's a really bad habit of mine. It just, my brain, I kind of get motion sickness sometimes from FPS Now, all that being said, I really like this game. Solid solid. It's clearly laid the groundwork for so many shooters after it, and I still think it has some of the best weapons in any FPS games. Like compared, like the shotgun and the chain gun are still stupid fun to use to this day. Like it is like when you're actually just in combat, that's the best part. Exploring can be fun, but again, my little brain thing doesn't always compute. I will say, like, maybe it's the graphics, but a lot of the levels kind of blended in. I can't tell maps apart from each other design-wise, but then again, I was kind of rushing to finish the games.
Yeah.
What is Cody's thoughts?
What is Cody's thoughts?
I usually end up beating, like, at least Doom 1 almost every year. I've always been obsessed with Doom. It's probably, like, one of my top 3 franchises. I remember, like, early on, essentially thinking that like it was like I don't know, like the classical music of video games, and that I remember being young and being like having the thought of like, oh, if I'm playing Doom, I'm playing like the best shit out there. This is like the real man's video game, that kind of situation.
Did you play on the gentleman's difficulty this time?
No, I think I just went with the normal one. Okay. I don't really. I haven't tried to play any of the. I forget the names. The harder or whatever
difficulties.
Ultraviolence, I think, is the gentleman's difficulty.
Yeah. See, I don't get that too crazy into it. The only thing I'll do stuff like that on is Eternal, because like that new stuff I can handle. I still can have a little bit of issue with like the controls of Doom when it's too fast paced. It still feels great. It's like there are so few games out there, and almost every single Doom is like this. I don't think there's a single one I've ever had to change any settings on. Like, I get on like most shooters, I gotta mess with the settings. Some of the shooters, it's almost impossible to like really rein in what I want. Doom has just always been butter. It's just always felt right. It's fun for me for just about any console I can play it on, or any game. I can't tell you how many games I've played Doom in. Like, I know it was in, what was that? What was the Bethesda game? They made a sequel to it, or you're in a desert, kind of. It's a first-person
Rust?
shooter. Not Rust.
I know which one you're talking. John Goodman's in it. I know that.
Is he?
No. Okay, wait. You're talking about...
It's kind of like... It's like you're on a different planet situation.
Yeah.
Damn it, dude. What is it called? The second one... I don't know, man. I have no idea. I don't know. I've seen Doom stuff in Brink whenever it first announced, like whenever it first came out. Fallout and Doom both had little like content packs in there, but they've hidden Doom in so many different things. One of my favorite things to see is just like what Doom's on. Like there's always something in the news like this person's playing Doom on a Western Instruments calculator, and this person's playing it on potatoes, and we calculated how many crabs it would take.
The main thing I knew about Doom before playing this is just we got Doom to work on this weird machine meme.
Like for the people play Doom at McDonald's.
And I don't know, there's always been something about it that just like takes me. I don't know. It's the easiest thing to like pick up and play. It's always just enjoyable. I actually ended up playing almost all of the Dooms. Not like to completion for this, but just like hopping on and like messing around a little bit. Doom 3, I don't really go through like that. I know a lot of people don't. I don't think it's a bad game. Just not my taste.
Yeah, it tried to do something new with the Doom formula, and it just wasn't what people were vibing with at the time.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it still is worth talking about sometimes. Only sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't know, this time around I'm trying to think if I found anything new prior to like right before we recorded this. I had never experienced any of the mod packs or anything like that for Doom, and I did not know that whenever they re-released the console ports, they added some of them in there. So I'm playing that right now actively and have been for the what time is it?
It's
for 2 hours.
10:14 p.m.
I've been playing this for 2 hours. It's phenomenal. This is something I didn't expect to experience. New stuff in Doom for me. I don't know. This is just like crazy to me. I've been loving the shit out of the Saturn. I forget what it's called.
Beyond something Saturn X.
I will say Boingo gave us a bunch of mods to check out for this episode in the .zip file he gave us. I just played through the base game as quickly as I could last night. And then while I was going to sleep, I looked up what are some of the most popular mods and what do they look like on my phone.
So you guys didn't do what I asked.
I did most of it. I experienced the game.
Yeah, but part of the game is also like the community, I feel.
Well, like we expected you to teach us that.
I did. I gave you the shit.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I watched Civi 24/7. I was playing Bolt Gun before you told us to play Doom. Which is not as good as Doom, but that's hard to be. But
there's few boomer shooter. Like Doom is a quintessential boomer shooter. Like it lays the groundwork for how people like to lay out levels, secrets, all those kind of things. And like Buster said, the quintessential like loadout for a FPS game that's more on that side of the field, because like with Halo, things kind of went into a different direction in terms of first-person shooters. Like the 1-2 punch of Halo and Call of Duty kind of made first-person shooters a little bit different with loadouts and that kind of thing. But Doom is still you're carrying the arsenal around with you. You have pistol, chainsaw, shotgun. Let's see if I can remember all just from memory.
Double barrel.
Double barrel's only in Doom 2. Double barrel's not in Doom 1. Yep, super shotgun is Doom 2, not Doom 1.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Did they add it with the mod packs? I thought I was playing it a second ago too.
The mod packs use Doom 2. Most mods use Doom 2 because there's more assets to use.
Oh, that's fair.
So disgusting.
So like instead of like the enemies you get in Doom 1, you also get in Doom 2 the chain gunner, the archvile, the mini spider dudes, I can't remember their names, and the skeleton.
Cyberbrains.
Cyberbrains and the skeletons.
Revenants?
Revenants. The classic spooky meme of Doom. Doots.
Oh, I wanted to ask this question tonight. What's your favorite mob?
Ooh, my favorite? You know what? It's hard to say. I like Cacos just because they're like, you can get like, they're fun and squishy when they're like little plushies, and it's like, oh yeah. Cacos are
I like the bipedal guys with the teeth. They were cool.
The pinkies.
Pinkies?
Yeah.
When they come in up and bite you.
I was like, this is how my brain works. I literally looked at them and I was like, oh, those would be cool action figures.
There's a lot of Doom action figures.
There's a lot of figures of Doom Guy from Todd and Max Factory.
Of course, Todd.
Here's the thing. The Cyber Demon and the Spider Mastermind were based off of 3D armatures. They were sculpted.
Interesting.
And then digitized. That's how they made those sprites. I think the other ones, the Imp wasn't, and I don't think the zombies were, but there are several other mobs that were digitized sculptures.
Yeah, like Digimon? I mean, not Digimon. Donkey Kong?
Yeah, like Donkey Kong. But no, not Donkey Kong, because those are 3D renders. It was the Mancubus. The Mancubus, I think, is also originally a clay sculpture.
Oh, clay. Yeah, that makes
clay armature. Like like stop motion.
Yeah, I've seen like the original models of those floating around for production, and they look.
I think for me, it's also Cacodemon. I like the Cyber Demon. Is that the correct term?
The big
cannon
boss.
Fat Boy.
Yeah.
Those are like a close second. Just in classic sprites. I just think like the Cacodemon is just like it. It's just like I think of Doom. I think of that.
It's the meatball.
Yeah. Also, I like the fact that you could use his like sprite asset pack to like make him sing. I see that happen all the time. I love that.
Yeah.
Just because of the way they make him like open his mouth and stuff like that.
And there is a reason the Cacodemon is like basically the Doom community mascot, essentially.
Yeah. So you were wanting us to get involved with like the PC Master Race Doom community situation a little bit more in depth.
a little bit, but I can go over some of the mods I asked you to I sent to you, just as more of a hey, here's what I talked to these guys about.
I know I've seen Civi review all of it, everything that he's done on
Yeah. That's another thing. I could have sent you guys to watch some Civi, but like
I watched LRG's video on it, and I watched a video by some other guy. I forget what his name was, but there was some guy who did a video of like, I'm a modern gamer and this is my first impressions of Doom. That came up just when I looked up videos for Doom 1993 on YouTube to get like a little more cultural context before playing the game last week.
Doom was born when I was.
And that was really interesting to find out. Like most everyone was like that guy's impression was like, I played Wolfenstein a few months ago, and people asked me to play Doom, so here's me playing Doom. Oh, this is way better than Wolfenstein. And I think LRG goes out of his way at one point to say like this is the superior game to Wolfenstein.
Because
I agree with that.
Yeah, you go to Wolfenstein if you like played it. You go to Wolfenstein for historical value, or if you played it when you were a kid.
Yeah. I only kind of know, like, Doom and Wolfenstein are two things that, like, I know what they are, I know why they're important, but before this episode, I didn't know much about either of them beyond that.
So for games and overall stuff, I take Doom as my preferred. Like, I honestly think Doom has to be, I mean, obviously it is, but, like, for me, it's got to be one of my favorite shooters of all time. But for lore and story, I am obsessed with Wolfenstein. I love BJ Blazkowicz. I love the new games. The new games for both Doom and Wolfenstein are just absolute fucking bangers. They deserve they were treated with the proper respect, I feel, for like Wolfenstein 1 and 2 that came out, and then Doom and Doom Eternal. I don't know. I mean, there's been so much good things said about Doom, but I mean, it
We're
really
just kind of
is
like preaching to the choir.
Yeah. Like, you everyone understands that. Even like back, you even said it's not your cup of tea, but you understand it's important. You understand, this is good. It's well put together.
And that's the thing is, I like learning about things that are important and well liked, and to the point where I'll go back and look at the things I looked at them originally and look at a couple more things every few years until eventually I trick myself into just outright liking them too. Like, I used to not give a shit about original O-Ring G.I. Joe, but I've gone back and researched it so many times over the years that now, like, every time I look at it again over the last couple of years since Classified started, I'm like, maybe I should collect vintage G.I. Joe before I remember I have credit card debt already.
But yeah, no, it's, and like, we could go over each map in Doom 1, but I think the only map you need to talk about is E1M1, which is...
It's the Green Hill Zone.
It's the Green Hill Zone. It's World 1-1 of Mario. Like, it is the quintessential. It teaches you everything you need to know about Doom.
It's good. It's solid. I would definitely like to, and I'm almost certain, like, you guys don't even have to tell me. They probably redid it in Doom 2016, right?
Actually, did 16 have the Easter eggs, or did Eternal have Easter eggs?
No, 16 had Easter eggs. I don't think it was exactly E1-1. I think that was more of the hallway levels they Easter egg.
No, no. It was the first level in Doom.
I think they have Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
All right. I was just going to say, like, I would like to see it redone with modern graphics, because that is another thing I had with this game where I had an experience of, like, the only comparable thing I could kind of equate it to, and this is going to make Cody mad. I'm sorry, man. It felt like looking at Beast Wars or Reboot. It felt like looking at mainframe animation stuff too, where I'm like, I get this was really good and revolutionary for the time, but I wasn't around to experience then, and so it looks weird and funky to me.
Okay, no, you pissed me off. You pissed me off, not Cody. You pissed me off.
I will go ahead and say that no.
You don't need it updated.
Doom looks like Doom. Like, there's been so many updated versions of Doom. What you just asked to go play Doom Eternal, so probably go do that if you can handle it.
I mean, maybe one day.
You probably like to play 16 first.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
Maybe texture packs could be cool. I know that shit already exists.
Well, here's the thing. Zach, there is literally a mod that does exactly what you're asking.
Oh, okay.
It is called Knee Deep in Zed Doom, and it's literally like, hey, what if we took all the technological advancements that we've made and remake Doom, the first episode of Doom 1?
And I mean, like, I probably would like it a lot more then, because there were still, like, gameplay mechanic things about this game I enjoyed. I like the way the chain gun feels when you're firing it. I like the fact that there's a lot of hidden doors that you just kind of stumble across if you hug walls enough. I know it's like a very distinct and iconic thing about Doom, and I really do enjoy it in the game. Is just like the little bit of key into Doom Guy's character of having his facial expression right there on the HUD. Is that the correct term?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Having his facial expression that is constantly updating while you're doing stuff, I think is a really good way to communicate some sense of ongoing story.
Yeah, and especially when you like get like the chainsaw and he has the biggest smile and it's just like, yeah. But no, like I can just go through some of these mods and explain why I suggested playing them. I did say you didn't have to play them all, so I understand. So first off, maps. Cody's been playing Beyond Saturn X. What is it actually called? I can't remember. Let me Google that real quick. But Saturn X is like what is considered a megawad, which is not just one map, it's like multiple maps that either one person or members of the community put together, and it's basically a brand new episode of Doom. You know. And the ones
go ahead.
No, back to Saturn X. Back to Saturn X. That's what it's called. But like, here's the thing. That map pack is so beloved by the community. Someone literally made a brand new set of weapons to go with it.
Ooh, that's cool.
To make it feel like it's its own game. And that's what I think is really interesting about the Doom community is like people will build maps and then people will build gameplay mods to go with those maps, but they don't have to. You know, like in the same vein, Ancient Aliens is another one I sent you guys, which is like you're going through the Southwest desert and you're fighting demons and you eventually like go on it's a wild psychedelic trip that someone made with Doom.
Okay. I legit had a moment there where I was like, they made a mod based off of that show?
It's inspired by like there's some things like that, but like talking about gameplay mods, the one of them I sent was called Space Hunter, and it turns you into Metroid from the NES.
Quick update, by the way. Both Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal are now on my Steam wish list. I'm not Buster. Stop. I'm not saying anyone specifically, but like if somebody wants to get them for me, I'll play them eventually. But if somebody wants to get them for me, I'll play them a lot sooner than eventually. Yeah, Arkham Knight has been on my fucking computer since February, dude.
I guess I should talk. Doom, cool. It's one of those things where it's like, it's a good game. I'm not sure. Like, I'm actually more interested in Doom 64. I just really, I guess like you should have made us play that because I actually really like Doom 64.
Well, that's the third game.
Oh god damn it! We're gonna have to play another Doom game before we get to the true peak.
It goes Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 64, 16, and then Eternal.
That's fair.
You know, I have this every once in a while, and I just had it again, where I'll go like, this is a cool word. Why hasn't there been a common writer with this word as their name? Like I used to always say there should be a common writer Avalon. How has there not been a common writer Doom?
I can see that.
Got charred, make it happen.
Yeah.
The evil common writer is called Common Writer Doom. But then there's also one of my favorite mods of all time, Russian Overkill.
Russian what?
Overkill. It is literally just, here is a pack of just super powerful weapons that are just like, you click the button and the entire screen explodes. Oh. And it's just fun.
That's cool.
Like legit, one of the things you get is like a World War I era grenade, and you just hit people on the head with it.
That's fun. I like that.
You can get the nuke. You can throw nukes like in Shadow Warrior. 3 different rail guns, all with different wacky abilities. Like you can generate a shield, and so on and so forth.
I feel like this is gonna just make me
play it on PC.
No, maybe. To start, because like I watch Civvy so much because I do love boomer shooters. It's like me and roguelikes. Like there's just something so pure to me about like the what's the proper word, accessibility of Doom.
Yeah.
And how it's on everything that could run anything, and some things that actually aren't things that run things. But
Things That Run Things, my new cover band.
the only way to be.
And the other gameplay mod I sent you guys was Too Many Super Shotguns, which is a comedy mod. It basically changes every single gun into a wacky shotgun.
That's
Nice.
nice.
So it makes it a Saints Row clone.
It kind of like to the point where your pistol is now Doom Guy holding a single shotgun shell and hitting it in the back with a hammer.
Those are good. Yeah, I've seen the animation set for all of that.
Yeah,
look into
it's just fun. It's funny, but it's like that's, and I put that there to kind of just show like the Doom community has a sense of humor and a comedy with its mods. Like I didn't send it to you guys, but there's 3 infamous maps called Nuts.
Is it just cock and balls?
No, it is just giant fucking rooms filled with enemies, like 100+ enemies in one single room.
Oh.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
And here's the thing: to this day, computers cannot run it because there are too many fucking enemies on the map.
That's amazing.
That's good. That's good.
So like, you will go in there and you just start going and shooting everything, and your computer just goes like a slideshow immediately.
That's great. I love that.
And the best part is Nuts 2. There's a thing right as you like load up the map. There's 3 like enemies right in front of you, and you go like, "Oh shit, shoot them!" And you wake all the enemies up, and then you go towards them. No, they were just fake. They made fake enemies to trick you into waking everybody up.
That's amazing.
And then I gave you some enhancements, and this is more or less just to kind of, hey, what if like not necessarily make Doom pretty, but it's also like, hey, it's what if we want to change the way Doom looks, which is the voxel mod. Because here's the thing, as you can tell, all the enemies, all the pickups, they were all sprites. This turns them into basically like pixelized 3D models to make it easier to look at and all that kind of stuff, and gives them depth and everything. And then IDKFA. Which is a music mod, which gives you pre-recorded high-quality covers of the Doom soundtrack done by Andrew Hirschholt.
Who?
Andrew Hirschholt is probably one of the most popular figures in the boomer shooter community. He's done the music for Dusk. He's done music for Doom Eternal. Like, he's done music for so many games that is just well-loved metal music. And he did an entire cover of the first game.
Okay.
And you can play with that music.
I had a question, and then it left my head.
Yeah, because you talked for 2.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's cool.
I'm enjoying that.
Doomba Build is basically, like I said earlier, the Doom engine inspired a thing called the Build engine, which created Duke Nukem, Blood, Shadow Warrior, Redneck Rampage. It was a different engine to make first-person shooter games. Nom was also made in it. And
I remembered my question.
What?
That Magic game or whatever it is, Hexen.
No, that's Doom Engine. Hexen and Heretic were Doom Engine.
That's what I was saying. Oh, Build Engine. You said Build Engine.
Yeah, build. What were you saying though? Zach?
Is there a way to change the control layout in the game, and I just didn't see it?
And the PC version, yes.
Okay. Because that was like my one complaint that I was like, I shouldn't bring this up because it's literally just a me thing. I hate WSASD controls. In any game, I always switch it to the pointer arrows.
That's gross.
It's
also wholly unergonomic.
Yeah.
Also, it's harder.
Might as well just plug in a controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I probably should have just done that. I just didn't think of it.
Oh yeah, try it again. Actually, no, do that today. Try it again with the controller. Do you have a controller? You don't have a controller.
I have a controller. I have an Xbox controller right here.
Yeah, try it with the
And now
controller.
I've got
Dude. You're gonna feel something a whole lot different.
God damn it!
Yeah. And then I basically gave you a bunch of mods that were pretty much their own game. They are so completely different from Doom that they might as well be their own game, like Pirates Doom, where it basically it gives every enemy a fanciful pirate costume, and you go through a trip around the Caribbean set to Monkey Island music as you save Guybrush Threepwood.
Oh. Yeah, no, I did see that one last night. I saw that. I saw Star Wars Doom.
Yep.
Of course, Vac would see Star Wars Doomed.
I mean, Doom, Star Wars also had its own first-person shooter.
I mean, anything with a Lucasfilm trademark
Dark
next
Empire
to
or whatever.
it, honestly.
Dark Forces.
Yeah.
Then we have Rise of the Woolball, which is basically a cutesy FPS game where you're playing a hedgehog fighting against Nazi cats.
Sounds like
Wolfenstein. Sounds like a Sonic.
It's based off of Rise of the Triad. Then we also have just a technical showcase that I sent you guys because I think it's like, wow, you were able to do that in Doom. Quake 2.
Yeah.
Someone tried to make Quake 2 in Doom, the Doom engine, and it works.
Like a demake?
No, like they just used the Doom engine instead of the Quake engine.
That's even better. Ooh. Now you're cooking with gas.
Treasure Tracker Land, which is basically, hey, what if Doom was Wario World? What if Doom was Wario Land?
I really want to check that one out because Wario.
Like you tackle things, you pick things up. It's very big. It's very fanciful.
Fanciful?
Fanciful, yeah.
That's a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
How have you never heard the word fanciful before?
It sounds just so improper to me.
It does sound improper.
It's like an old English word, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's old English. I hate the British, so who cares?
We also have Hocus, which is a complete, like, what if this old PC platformer game got a first-person shooter, and it's also a Q-em-up.
For the education of Buster and any other listeners who may not have heard of the word fanciful, the dictionary defines it as existing only in the imagination or fancy, and also designed to be extraordinarily ornamental rather than practical.
Yeah. And then I also sent you guys Golden Souls, which is what if Mario 64 but Doom. It's a platformer game.
Ooh,
that's funny.
Like,
so how many games did you want us to play for this?
I didn't want you to play Doom 1, and I just wanted you to test these guys out, play them for like 10 minutes.
Like, I've been playing Sigil now, and I think I like Sigil a little bit more than Back to Saturn.
Yeah. Also, so guys sent you Castlevania. Someone made a brand new Castlevania game in Doom.
Oh, I think I saw that being demoed around back when Twitter was working.
And the last mod I want to talk about, just because
don't say that. What if Twitter is working when this episode comes out?
I don't know. Maybe it will be. I like being untopical.
But like the last one I want to talk about, because it's the one that blew up this year. It's the one that like a lot of people are talking about. It's My House.
House?
It's called My House.
Yeah. What about My House?
MD?
No, it is a surreal horror game where you are going through liminal spaces and you are trying to get out. And there's an ARG component to it. Oh. Like, you have to uncover the story, and it's inspired by House of Leaves. Like, it is a big, complex thing. At one point, you fight Shrek.
It's weird.
Oh, so it's internet post.
No, legitimately, you are going through this game, and you land in a dilapidated daycare, and on the wall is like a mural of Shrek, because it's like, oh yeah, daycare, Shrek is whatever.
Kids game.
Yeah. And you go into a graveyard and Shrek is there and you have to kill Shrek.
Aww.
Because he's scared, because it's meant to be like
orphan all those little ogre babies?
Because it's meant to be evocative of like something in your childhood.
Or I'm sorry, not orphan, you're gonna make Fiona be a single mom?
But
she can handle it.
Yeah, she can. But it's evocative of like something in your childhood, like scaring the shit out of you, and you look back and it's just like, oh, that was just a shitty mural of Shrek.
Why is Mac dying?
Is
this Wacky Racers? What's that dog's name?
The flippant way Cody said she can handle it really got to me.
Well, Fiona's a badass. What are you talking about?
She is. I just love how you're like, fuck it, that woman's husband could die. She won't care.
I feel like Shrek doesn't even really help out anyways in the movies. Like, I don't know.
That's probably true. Holy fuck.
See, this is what Doom does to a motherfucker.
I've also been drinking a beer this whole episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, watch out!
Oh, watch out! We got a badass over here.
Got one beer deep.
Hey, it's
Back.
long been established on the channel since before you were a fucking member that I'm a lightweight. Okay.
Then why do you keep proving it?
I just do it every once in a while when I'm like, maybe the episode won't be that interesting and I need something to keep me motivated.
Whoa! How dare
Are
you?
you saying Doom's not interesting?
Doom is interesting. Playing Doom was not for me.
You definitely need to try with the
keep phrasing
controller.
it that way. Cody, I don't know if I can this weekend because I've got a lot of shit I got to do, but I will at some point just for you.
And there's
Yeah, just in general.
There's also the aspect of Doom 1 is considered like the lesser of Doom 1 and Doom 2. Because Doom 2 adds so much more enemies to fight and has much more variety in combat encounters. And
yeah. I mean, I will say, again, learning about this game and then actually playing it, I was like, I could pull a Beck 2 here. I could go why didn't you make us play the better game? Oh, this isn't as good as you said. It's because of reasons that only affect me. But, I feel like I'm past that stage in my life.
What is Beck 2?
better question, what is Beck 1?
Have you not been a subscriber of Modular Media since episode 3 of this podcast?
No, I only got into a
Okay, so for people who aren't longtime listeners, i.e., Buster, a very early episode of Analytical Fanboys was Boingo made me watch the anime Beck, and it really didn't click with me. I would actually say it anti-clicked with me. And halfway through the podcast, when I was going on this huge rant about everything I didn't like about it, Boingo was like, well, eventually they fix all that stuff in the manga. And I just went, why didn't you make me read the fucking manga then? And it turned out the manga hadn't been fully translated, and it still hasn't.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, officially. Officially, it hasn't been officially translated.
Yeah.
Fan-wise, it's been translated.
Oh, thank God.
So you can read it whenever.
Yeah. And also, that was the first time we got any real comments on a video for the channel, and it was just this is just a dude being an asshole about a show I like. What the hell?
Now this is a dude being an asshole about a game you like.
I'm trying really hard to be I don't want to be an asshole here. It just didn't click for me. And that's fine. Not everything has
Don't
to.
say anything bad about Doom. People might come for you.
Yeah. It's like saying something bad about Super Mario Brothers.
To every boomer listening right now, look, just because I don't like just because I didn't love your thing, doesn't mean it's not great. It's fine if you like it. I don't have a problem with you. I don't have a problem with it. It's totally cool. It just didn't work for me this time around. As I was saying earlier, with fucking O-Ring G.I. Joe, it could be 4 or 5 years down the line from now, I'm watching a bunch of Doom videos, and I decide to replay Doom, and I'm like, oh, this is brilliant, actually. That could happen. That could always happen.
What if it never happens?
Or it could not happen.
Here's a question. Here's a
I don't
question
know.
I have.
Everybody subscribe to Modular Media to find out if it does happen someday.
Here's a question that I have for you, Zach. What is it that you think didn't click with you? What part of it was it that
Instead of the metal stuff.
Yeah.
The metal stuff, the general metal demonic aesthetic, and just the fact that there's nowhere near as much story as I'm used to in a game. That it's very much just here's your premise.
Well, you do know it.
Let me finish.
Okay.
You can read into things if you want. You've got a little bit here and there to kind of give you context clues, but for the most part, the story is you are shooting demons.
Well, you do know what John Carmack said about story in video games.
Isn't he a huge proponent of that not being a thing?
His quote is, story in video games is like story in a porn. You expect it to be there, but it's not the most important thing.
I would disagree with that quite a bit, but okay.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I disagree with him too. Carmack's kind of he's a figure.
He's entitled to his opinion. It's fine.
Well, games at that time were a lot different, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, that's again a part of the thing of it's just I am not much of a gamer. Most of the games I have played are relatively new, and so my perspective is very skewed in okay, this is where everything comes from, and that's interesting, but it's not exactly fun for me.
Do you think you would have had more fun watching someone else play it as commentary?
Oh, that might be possible.
Like, if I had played it and you were just with me, watching me play it, do you think you might have had more fun?
That might be an idea, actually, for the next summit, maybe. Just like you live streaming on your Twitch playing Doom, but there's a face cam for me and the rest of us.
I want to do that with Transformers Devastation because that game is like out of print and I still have it and still love it, so I would love to like.
I mean, it's never out of print if you put on an eye patch.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, I have the PS4 copy and that's out of print.
You know who needs a copy of that fucking game right now?
Who?
Daniel Warren Johnson.
Oh yeah, we gotta give it. We gotta. Someone
send
him Devastation, please.
Like he doesn't already own that.
No, he's a G1 guy. I mean, like.
He's a G1 guy, but he's also like I haven't kept up with it since G1.
Yeah, and like Devastation is very. I'm gonna ask. Does Daniel Warren Johnson play video games?
I don't know either way. I don't imagine he plays no video games, but I don't think he's a huge game.
I'll ask him to look up the cutscene compilation then.
Yeah, go to his next Friday Night Live show and get in the chat.
I wanted to go to this week's, but I got busy. I actually subscribed to his channel after the announcement. I really want to interact with him and tell him, hey, go watch this, watch animated.
He seems like a very sweet guy too. So we're very off topic right now. What's another Doom thing we can talk about?
The movie that I saw 4K of at Best Buy today.
Well, the movie.
You took the photo today. I thought you pulled that from Google Images.
Oh, I was at Best Buy looking around, and I'm like, "Oh, Doom 4K." I actually, as soon as I got to Best Buy, I'm like, "I think they have a 4K of Doom. I can just send to the chat," and I did.
Well, here's the thing: we could talk about some of the members because we talked a little bit about Carmack just a moment ago. Because that's another thing. You can't talk about Super Mario Brothers without talking Miyamoto. You can't talk about Doom without talking about the people who made it.
Yeah, the Johnson.
Because
John
Johnsons.
No, like the George and John. I forgot their
They're both named John.
John Carpenter, George Romero.
But after Doom was released, they became fucking rock stars.
Yeah, they bought yachts.
They bought Ferraris. John Romero invented trash talking in deathmatch. That's another thing. Doom invented deathmatch.
What is deathmatch?
Yeah.
Multiplayer.
LAN multiplayer against each other.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You could play it on 360.
Ooh.
Me and Cole used to.
I don't know if the servers for the 360 version are still up.
But like Doom created I wouldn't say created, but like cemented first person shooter deathmatch competitive. Like that's the thing. Doom is such an ever-present thing that it's hard to remember like how impactful it is because it's just there. It's like breathing oxygen.
Doom's also been at the forefront of many a controversy and news story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like it was part of the big video games.
Wasn't it part of the Satanic Panic?
Yeah.
The 90s one, yes.
Mm.
But it's also the day after the initial hearing about video game violence, Doom released.
Nice.
So
on SNES or just in general?
In general, because they were having those hearings talking about Night Trap.
Night Trap is barely a perverted game. I don't get the hype around it.
And then Doom came out.
Yeah.
Really just like, here you go, motherfucker.
Yeah. I still don't get the hype around Night Trap.
At the time, it was more of a thing.
I still don't even get it at the time. Like out of all the games to like put like
because the idea is you are in control of whether these characters live or die, and that feels like it's maybe too much power. And then people just went like, but yeah, it's still fiction. It's like watching a Freddy Krueger movie. It's fine. Oh, that's another thing I just remembered. Okay, so Doom comes out. Some chucklefucks want to compete with Doom on the Mac and make basically a competing game. Since Mac didn't have Doom, so these guys made a game called Marathon.
Oh, and that's getting remade.
No, it's getting a different thing entirely. But that was that was Bungie becoming Bungie, which would lead to Halo
and Destiny, if you care.
Yeah,
I mean, we wouldn't have shooters without it. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, Wolfenstein happened, but like.
But like what I'm saying is like you can directly pinpoint, okay, this is why this company exists as it is today.
So it's kind of poetic that freaking Microsoft bought all of them eventually.
Kind
of.
No,
they didn't buy Bungie stuff.
No, Sony bought Bungie, didn't they?
Yeah, no, they didn't. No, Bungie's independent.
Bungie still indie? Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because, like,
Doom.
they had a deal with Activision, but then that broke up.
But yeah, no. Doom is important. Doom is cool. Doom is really nice. I like Doom here because, like, on just a very personal note, Cody can attest to this. I was never super into shooters until I was like, I'm bored. Let me try Doom. And then I played Doom, and now it's just like I understand them now. I get why these are enjoyable for people.
They're a personality trait of yours.
I think anybody who grew up interested in games, I don't know, maybe would end up touching a Doom at some point just because of the accessibility and they're in everything, they're referenced in everything.
Yeah, now you have the 2016 games.
Yeah, which aren't even like a reboot. They're just like continuing. There's just the story going on.
The epic saga continues.
The epic saga of the Doom guy.
Yeah,
because that's what it was.
Ever since Vac said the epic saga when we talk about Ruby Cross Justice League, I just like putting that in my lexicon now.
I mean, it's a term that people say.
I just think Doom is an important thing and needs to be talked about. Needs to be like it's like Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, Doom, Street Fighter 2. Like, if we are to look at video games and like its purest concept of what we need to preserve the most, those games are very important, you know.
So it's with you, it's very much a future generations must be informed kind of thing is what I'm getting at.
Doom should be part of classroom curriculums.
Are there not schools for game design now?
There are, but like that, and that's honestly, so many game designers literally got started by making Doom map because the tools are accessible. I could make a Doom map right fucking now.
Interesting.
You know, you can make a Doom map.
A very shitty one.
Cody just dropped from the call.
Yeah, he's having issues, I think.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Here we go again.
Here we go.
So they're finally here. Recording for you. If you know the words, you have no life.
But yeah, no, it's just, I think Doom's cool. I think it's interesting. I think
we think you're cool.
I think it's even if you don't like it, it's important to like experience it in some way.
1000%.
Because now, like Vac, anytime you play a game, you can like there's a sense of respect of like what came before it and how it is like. Without Doom, the Batman game, wouldn't be the way.
Yeah.
Also, one of the other things that sent you, Batman Doom, where you play as Batman.
And you shoot batarangs or something?
Yeah, you shoot batarangs.
I think I saw something on that one the other night.
It is like one of the first, earliest total conversions, which is what those kind of mods are called. So yeah, I can't think of anything else we really specifically need to talk about with Doom.
Damn.
I guess should we wait for Cody? Or?
We can wait for Cody for a moment.
I have texted him.
Oh god, I dropped the fidget.
Oh no. Yeah,
but like, there's just getting into FPS games. It's just like real fun.
You're real fun.
You would probably enjoy the concept of Fashion Police Squad, Vac and Buster. It's a first-person shooter where you don't kill people. You're a fashion cop, and you got to go around the city looking at fashion crimes and solve them.
That reminds me of that one Capcom game Nitro Red talked about. The one of the blue guy.
Yeah. But basically, in the game, you run into enemies who have like too dull of suits, and you gotta splash them with color. Or you got guys who are like wearing too loud of colors, riding scooters, and you gotta drain their color. There's guys who are sagging their pants, and you gotta hit them with a belt to pull them up.
Is this just the Grandpa mod?
No, it's not a mod of Doom. It's its own game.
Oh, okay.
Called Fashion Police Squad. You like fight Guy Fieri's wearing flaming shirts, and you gotta fucking douse them in water.
That's cool.
The first boss is. Do you remember Wolf of Wall Street? Matthew McConaughey's character when he's like thumping his chest.
No, I don't. Have I seen Wolf of Wall Street?
So you never talked about.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I think we should check things out.
We could. Hey Vac, what's the thing you want us to fucking talk about next time?
Should I do that now without Cody here?
Yeah, you can wait. Explain it to Cody later.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a shame. I feel like we'd get the biggest pop from him, but that might be revealing it a little. Oh, what is this?
That's the Flash and Police Squad game I was
Okay.
talking about.
Don't you may I thought that was Cody for a second.
Oh.
Okay. So obviously I'm doing a thing on my channel this month because it's July. It's the month of Independence Day, the big American aren't we special great people holiday. And I figured it'd be fun to talk about a classic piece of Americana, but not so much like in general. I want to talk about a very specific part of it, a part of it that I really liked and enjoyed in my most recent look through of it. So we are going to be talking about the 5-part opener to the second season of the original Sunbow G.I. Joe cartoon, Arise Serpentor Arise.
We couldn't have done the movie?
I like this more than the movie. I think this should have been the movie.
Okay, because I want to talk about the intro sequence.
I mean, we can certainly talk about that. We can talk about all of Sunbow G.I. Joe during that episode if you want. We can kind of jump all over the place because I mean, like, Arise Serpentor Arise is available as a supercut movie on the official G.I. Joe YouTube channel, but it's also available as the individual episodes because the entire Sunbow show is on the official G.I. Joe YouTube channel right now. So anybody who wants to check out just these episodes or watch the entire series up to that point can do so now. And welcome back, Cody. You missed me revealing what my pick is. Are you ready to hear?
Yes.
We're talking about Arise Serpentor Arise, motherfucker.
G.I. Joe, the Sunbow cartoon.
It's like, what the fuck? Oh my god! I got an anti-pop!
He's smiling now. He's just like it just took a bit for him.
Have I not heard of this?
This is the 5-parter that opens season 2 of the original Sunbow cartoon, and it's where basically I'll say just as a little teaser because a lot more shit happens in it. But the basic impetus for the plot is Destro, Baroness, and Dr. Mindbender all go, "Yo, Cobra Commander fucking sucks. We lose all the time because of this guy's dumb bullshit. We need to make a bigger, badder leader."
Okay, for a second I thought I'm like, dude, is there a cartoon I haven't heard of? But like, yeah, okay, I've seen all G.I. Joe, so that's fine.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. Are we gonna be double dipping with that?
A little bit. I mean, like, we're not talking about the cartoon on Saturday morning panels. We're talking about the comics, but like...
But you telling me we're not even gonna say a single smidge of a word of like, hey, we've been watching this G.I. Joe stuff over here. I mean, I don't know. You know?
I mean, we certainly could, as I was saying, because I don't know if Buster and Boingo have seen all of G.I. Joe like we have. So the entire Sunbow show, as well as pretty much every other show except for like the Deke show, are on the official G.I. Joe YouTube channel.
Show?
Oh yeah.
Was that Extreme?
No, that was Extreme was like the last couple seasons of the Deke show, I want to say. I'm a little fuzzy on that stuff right now, but basically after the movie, this should be in the G.I. Joe episode, but I'll say it now. After the movie had to be chopped up into episodes of the show because the Transformers movie did so poorly, they decided, you know what, why don't we save some animation money? And they switched from Sunbow to Deke. So Deke is technically a different show, but it continues on from Sunbow's continuity, sort of, kind of. But the Sunbow show is the original animated series. It started as 2 miniseries, the Mass Device and Revenge of Cobra, and then there's a whole like 30 episode first season, and then Arise Serpentor Rise was a 5-parter that opened season 2.
Okay,
this is fun.
Yeah. I'm going to try and rewatch a significant portion of it if I can get time, because I mean, like, I've also already seen it, so I can put it on as background noise while I'm doing stuff. But you guys can or cannot do that, whatever you feel comfortable with. The main thing is just watch Arise Serpentor Rise. We'll talk about that, and we can talk about other parts of G.I. Joe if you want.
Just put on my watch later. So
yeah, I should put the friggin' link in the chat for Boingo and Snowman if he doesn't know how to get to the G.I. Joe YouTube channel.
I can't believe we're doing G.I. Joe before our Transformers thing.
I mean, like that's just how it rolls sometimes. It is Cody's choice next after me, so he could pick a Transformers thing if he wants to. But yeah, I think that will do it for this month's episode of Analytical Fanboys. So why don't we start plugging and tugging? Buster, where can people find you on the internet?
Hi, I'm Buster Corp. I do various kinds of videos on my YouTube channel. We have a podcast called Liquid Podcast Turbo where we're going through all of OKKO, rewatching it with like guests. We just got producer Toby Jones on an episode, so that's very exciting. I also got a bunch of like analysis videos on Kamen Rider, comics, cartoons, all those kinds of shit. And I'm not on Twitter, but I am on Tumblr at Buster Corp right now. I don't even know if Twitter's gonna be alive by the time we upload this. But if it is Buster Blue 3.
All right, Snowcone, where can people find you on the internet?
Never_robot on Instagram and Snowcone83 on most gaming platforms. Just come find me and kiss me.
Awesome, will do. Boingo, where can people find you on the internet?
Hey, you can find me in a variety of places. Twitch.tv/BoingoWriter, on YouTube at BoingoWriter, and on a variety of social media platforms at Boingo_Writer, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. You can follow me on Tumblr, BoingoWriter.
All right. And I am the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. They're things I'm quite proud of. And, you know, this is a big marketing moment on my channel. I'm doing Freedom Month, talking about all kinds of cool media that I feel represents the American spirit and ideals in some way, shape, or form. So you can check out all that, as well as all my past videos about all kinds of other things on youtube.com at the Vacuuminator. I'm also on Twitter for the time being at the Vacuuminator. I'm on Tumblr, thevacuuminator.tumblr.com, Instagram at @_Vacuuminator, and on TikTok with that very same ads. But folks, that's going to do it for this month's episode of Analytical Fanboys. Hope you've enjoyed hanging out and talking with us about Doom, and we will see you back here next month for G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Arise, Serpentor, Arise.